Hey everybody, how's it going? Jeffrey here from Aspiration Audio. Today we're doing a little video. I'm just going to discuss I'm not going to really go into this unit. I have discussed this in two previous videos. This here is the PS Audio Power Plant Premier. It's really a great unit, but why would you buy this and who is it for? Is the discussion, today's topic. Who is this product for? And let's talk about that for a moment. Now, I only have two things. Well, I have three things plugged into the back. My TV and my receiver. But let's just talk about for a moment, who is this for? Why would you get something like this? And to discuss that, first we need to talk about what happens with your power sockets coming from the wall. I mean, yes, you've seen the videos, power is dirty, it's shared by everybody, so on and so forth. I'm not going to get as much into that. What I'm going to talk about is why you would want a unit like this over say, a really good plug strip. Here's the difference. This is a unit that amplifies power before it sends it back out. That is the main difference between, say, a plug strip and this, right? A plug strip, actually, you got to understand the voltage always stays the same. It's 120, okay, out of your wall, and that always remains the same, but the amperage drops every single time you add something to that line. That's why you get something like this, because you want dynamics, you want power, you want something that will deliver more than what you are getting from the wall, right? So you got to understand your wattage, okay? Wattage is voltage times amps, okay? So overall wattage, or in other words, the potential of the river, right? The total volume of water moving along in the river, okay? If you want to look at it as a river, right? That depends upon essentially those equations being in balance. Whenever you start plugging stuff into a plug strip, oh, that seems great, but you're actually lowering the amount of dynamic power you can get out of each unit that you plug in when you do that. For instance, my big towers here. Here's my Golden Ear Triton reference towers. You've probably seen those. But anyway, I have two of those plugged into a plug strip. Now, I can either plug those into the wall and plug one into a plug and plug another one into the other plug and get the same effect. And make no mistake, you're getting the same effect. Okay, so the only difference is that a plug strip provides some surge protection, and with as much money as I paid for these things, I don't want them to blow up should there be a lightning strike or something like that, right? So that is one reason why you would use a plug strip over the wall socket, right? So just to be clear. However, I only have those two speakers plugged into that really robust plug strip, and that means I'm only splitting the amps by 2. Okay, so I am getting, yeah, instead of your 15 amps, you're going to split that in half, right? So 7 and some odd amps. So that makes it to where essentially, you are still getting some power because of course you're able to get some draw from the wall. And then over here, the only thing plugged into this is this PS Audio. And I've done that so that no matter, what I plugged in here, which I have my receiver, of course, and my I was going to show you the some of the front display there. I don't know if it actually, if I'm too close. Yeah, it looks like I'm a little too close. But anyway, it's pretty cool. It has little meters and stuff on it. Tell you all your amperage and stuff like that or whatever. It's It's an alright unit, but you've got like, you know, stuff like your input output voltage, the difference meter that will kind of tell you what good it's doing, you know, and the cute blue thimble like I showed you before. But yeah, you know, but why buy this? It's more of what I'm discussing today. This is an amplifier, essentially, like, you know, well, like this over here, right? Like my receiver. It's an amplifier, right? And what that amplifier does is takes power in, cleans it up, regulates it, and then it just kicks it up and sends it out, right? Um, and that's, you know, that's great. It really is, because then, unlike the regular wall socket, you're getting more power than you had before, right? So obviously a plug strip will not amplify anything. So you're dividing the amps that are available. This unit I like because it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't matter what you plug in or where you plug it in on the back of here. It has 10 sockets on the back of it. This one is pretty simple. You know, it just divides the amps out from the unit no matter what. So it's somewhat like a plug strip in that sense, except you do have isolation zones, which helps. But here's another thing. You get common grounding. Okay, common grounding is very good for electronics because that makes it to where everything is operating at the same harmonic, you know, with the same harmonics. So it increases the harmonic, you know, the harmony of the electrical signal. In other words, it decreases total harmonic distortion when you have things plugged in. So it might not be by much, but it does make a difference. Things that are plugged in together will make a bigger, you know, it will make a bigger impact on sound and the video quality. So it's just a really good thing to do. So I always recommend that you do that. But yeah, I only have those two things plugged in here, as far as the TV and the receiver, because those are the two things that really make a difference, right? And those are the two things that are really going to matter to you, or at least they should. You know, when you're, I mean, I do most of my streaming off the TV anyway, the receiver, but these are the things that, one, need more power. They need more power than, say, you know, a modem or, you know, other stuff I have in here, right? This is more important in terms of what I have plugged in here. It's way more important than everything else. And that means, you know, honestly, I'd rather have those things plugged in here because I'm going to get more dynamics out of my receiver and better visual quality out of my TV if I do that, right? And that also equivocates to audio fidelity. In my case, of course, I am partially blind, very blind anymore. So that matters to me. It makes a huge difference. And I would rather have that quality because, one, I've common grounded, and two, this is cleaning up the power. So that helps, right? But it's also going to provide better dynamics. And let's be very honest, you know, TVs take a lot of power to deliver dynamics. So it is very important, in my opinion, to do that because it does help. It helps a lot. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick video. And, well, let me see. I'll see if I'm not even sure if you can see this with the light levels in here, but see, there's like some sockets back there. Yeah, I got my TV plugged in. Yeah, so just a real, I don't know, kind of basic look back there. But yeah, so on this thing you have 10 sockets like you do on a lot of power strips. But unlike a power strip, something like this is going to amplify power, and that means there's going to be more amperage dealt out to everything you have plugged into this than there would be from the wall, right? So that is a huge thing. You do have to look at, however, on the back of a lot of these power conditioners, other things, look at what the sockets tell you. How many amps are coming out of each of those? Do research, okay? Some of these have nowadays, you know, of course, PS Audio has made many more units now. So they have a huge selection of them now. And some of them now have high current sockets that are designed for things like your receiver and amplifiers and things like that. Okay. And so you can plug those into there, and they're getting a higher amount of amps, usually 15 amps for each of those high current sockets. And then it deals out like 3 amps to the rest of your stuff, 3 amps, 5 amps, something like that. Okay. Um, so yeah, this is huge because it means dynamics are there. And that's why you get a unit like this. So that's who this is for. For the serious person who wants to turn up their stuff, you want to hear boom, thump, bang, right? You want those dynamics, you want the power there, then you have to keep those principles in mind. You buy something like this because you want dynamics, you want power to be there. With a plug strip, you do not get that. Now, I'm not saying these are better than plug strips. There are some plug strips out there that are really fantastic. You know, things like Surge X and I can't remember. There's quite a few other companies. You know, the Silic line from iFi, several different types of really excellent plug strips that will provide current regulation and surge and dip protection and all kinds of things. So it gets pretty close to this, but it's not an amplified unit, right? So yeah, you got to keep that in mind. But this will, yeah, it cleans the power and it hands it out, but it amplifies, and that's kind of what the discussion's about today. So if dynamics are key to you, and of course they are, if you're running a home theater, you're doing home audio, you want power because you want dynamics, and that's huge. It's very important. So doing something like this, is it for everybody? No, but there are many other units out there that can do something like this, whether it's a power conditioner or whatever. You don't have to go with PS Audio. There are many other companies, and a lot of which are getting, you know, very rave reviews. So check them out. You know, Niagara and Transparent makes stuff like that. Monster still makes power conditioners. Um, you know, and a lot of those will amplify to some extent the amperage going out to each socket. So yeah, that's who a product like this is for. Someone who wants dynamics, that does not want a plug strip, because a plug strip will not amplify, you know, it won't increase the amps. It will divide the amps with every single thing you plug into it. So you do have to keep that in mind. Maybe if your speakers, the powered bass section in your speakers just aren't really doing anything much for you, that might be the reason why. It might be because you don't have enough power to run them. So keep that in mind. If you do go with a plug strip that is a good one, Surge X again is a good one. Get something with a solid metal casing that will shield it from, you know, any kind of EM stuff. And just go with something that has really good regulations. Make sure that it's got that it doesn't have sacrificial parts that are going to blow out as soon as you have a surge, or it only lasts for so long, or whatever. Make sure that it's got good quality parts that make it to where it's going to last a long time. So anyway, those are my words of advice, and you know, my little pearls of wisdom here. So I hope you enjoy, and see you guys later. Love you.